comes in slow through the curtain seam. A line of light is lying on the floor. I keep my mug in the same place it has been. Steam curling up to find the ceiling once more. The room is quiet, almost too quiet to hold. I watch a shadow bend across the wall. No need to fix the picture, no need to fold. Just let the day arrive, just let it call. A text comes through, I read it. I put the phone down. Outside the city hums in a softer key. I hear my neighbors' wind chimes holding their own sound. The street is gone slow, like the sea, like me. I tie my hair up loosely. I pour a second cup. I trace the wood grain with the fingertip. The world outside keeps moving, but I've given up. Not in a heavy way, just a quiet slip. Breathe in, breathe out, count the ceiling tiles. Notice what is here, do not rearrange. Soften every corner, walk the slowest miles. Let the small things be the small things. Do not change. Slightly out of frame, but still in the room. Holding to a gentle, ordinary tune. I am not lost, I am not chasing. Just letting small hours keep on pacing. Slightly out of frame, yet fully here. Letting go of every weight I used to wear. And if tomorrow asks me where I've been, tell it I was breathing, tell it I was in. The grocery store is playing something old and low. I'll buy all the colors blurred to gray. I'm not to a stranger, I will never know. Then carry my small bag out into the day. My sneakers leave a print in the evening dust. The sky is turning somewhere between rose and blue. I do not have a reason I can trust. Just this quiet step, just this honest view. If you could see the version of me that I keep, the one who folds the laundry without sound, who waters all the plants before they sleep, who writes a single line and puts the pencil down, you'd say there's nothing broken, nothing wrong. A life that hums beneath the surface song. So when the night arrives with its velvet hands, I'll meet it bare, I'll meet it as I am. Slightly out of frame, but still in the room. Holding to a gentle, ordinary tune. I am not lost, I am not chasing. Just letting small hours keep on pacing. Slightly out of frame, yet fully here. Letting go of every weight I used to wear. And if tomorrow asks me where I've been, tell it I was breathing, tell it I was in. The light has gone, the mug is cooling slow. I set it by the window for the dawn. Whatever comes, I'll let it come, I'll let it go. Just a soft exhale, just a quiet draw. Still here, still here, still here. Morning light across the kitchen floor. A cup of something cooling by the door. Phone face down, I am not in a rush. The room is warm and so the moment hush. Street outside has gone to softer gray. I let my shoulders drop and choose to stay. A small wind moves the curtains, easy, slow. Just watching what the daytime has to show. I take a breath and count to 7, 8. The kettle ticks, the world can simply wait. There is a neighbor walking past a tree. She hums a song that she has sung for weeks. A little bird is pacing on the rail. I trace the rim of coffee, let it fail. No grand design, no special thing to do. Just water in the glass, just me and you. The table holds a book I have not read. Some underlined line inside my head. I let the hour carry what it may. A soft undo, a kind of gentle way. If the day wants something from me, I will hold it like a folded letter. If the night comes in a little early, I will keep the lamp on, feeling better. Steady, steady, breathing through. I have room enough to hold the view. I am here, slightly out of frame, soft and breathing, calling out my name. I am here, learning not chase, letting time move at its slower pace. I am here, the window wide, the curtain light. I am here, the morning holding me upright. Slightly out of frame, but not alone. Slightly out of frame, but I have grown. I am here, I am here, I am here. Whispered low for only me to hear. I am here, slightly out of frame, soft and breathing, calling out my name. Evening pulls along a shadow in. The lamp throws amber on the paper thin. I fold the laundry while the music plays. A simple kind of warmth that never strays. A text comes in, I read it twice. I smile, my tired eyes have learned a softer style. The streetlight hums above the empty car. I think of someone, also where you are. A glass of water, window, breath and chair. I am still becoming, I am still aware. Whatever comes, I'll let it come, I'll let it go. Just a soft exhale, just a quiet draw. Not every day needs a louder plan. Some days are only held inside your hands. The room is patient and so am I. A small kind of grace beneath the sky. I don't need to name the thing I feel. I only know that it is real, it's real. I am here, slightly out of frame, soft and breathing, calling out my name. I am here, learning not to chase, letting time move at its slower pace. I am here, the window wide, the curtain light. I am here, the evening folding into night. Slightly out of frame, but not alone. Slightly out of frame, but I have grown. I am here, I am here, I am here. Whispered low for only me to hear. I am here, slightly out of frame, soft and breathing, calling out my name. Softly breathing, softly staying, softly holding, softly praying. Slightly out of frame, slightly. I am. Morning in the kitchen, kettle starting low. Light is on the counter, moving nice and slow. I keep my hands around the cup, I let the warmth remain. Nothing needs to happen, nothing to explain. And I watch a single car go by outside the glass. The street is barely stirring, I just let it pass. My shoulders drop a little, breathing settles down. I trace a small circle on the wooden table ground. Phone is on the carpet, face still dark and dim. Curtains letting in a softer kind of rim. I count the small things drifting, steam and dust and thread. I find a kind of quiet spinning in my head. You left your jacket folded near the bedroom door. I hear the fridge humming steady from before. I read a page and then I read the same one twice. Today the words don't matter, only how they're nice. I am not in a hurry, I am not in a race. I am just learning the shape of this ordinary place. I am wide awake but resting. I am hearing my own name. I am not asking the morning for anything but the same. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Almost but not calling, quiet as you came. I am not forgetting, I am not the same. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Holding what you gave me, letting go of blame. Slightly out of frame. Evening finds the hallway softer than it was. Light goes long and amber on the hardwood cars. I make a small amount of dinner, just enough for me. I set a second plate down out of memory. I leave the radio on low, a voice I used to know. It carries through the rooms in a familiar flow. I step out to the balcony, the street is warm and dim. A neighbor's window glowing feels a lot like him. If I stay a little longer, will the silence say your name? Will the air inside this room taste a little like a flame? I am not afraid of nothing, but I am afraid of small. Light the space beside a pillow when the head does not recall. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Almost but not calling, quiet as you came. I am not forgetting, I am not the same. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Holding what you gave me, letting go of blame. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Slightly breathing, softly night falls gentle. I am near, I am near, I am near, still here. The light is soft against the wall. A cup is sitting where I left, the steam is gone. The room is calm, outside the street is slowly drifted. I hear my keys, I hear my breath, the clock is ticking on the table. I count the hours I have left and find the answer I am able. You asked me once what keeps me whole. I said the quiet, not the thunder. A window open, not the cold. A simple night, a small, small wonder. We sat and watched the daylight dim. 2 cups, 2 shadows on the carpet. The world outside was growing slim, but here inside we had not lost it. I do not need the room to glow, I only need the room to hold me. Let the minutes take it slow, let the minutes slowly fold me. Slightly out of frame, that is where I wanna be. Holding just your name, in a pocket next to me. Not the center, not the light, just a figure warm and steady there beside you through the night. Soft and hurried, calm and ready. Slightly out of frame, slightly, slightly, slightly out of frame. Slightly, slightly, slightly out of frame. I watch the cars move down the lane, the headlights blur against the pavement. A neighbor hums a low refrain, a curtain twitches with the movement. These little things I do not miss, the laundry line, the distant voices. A hand to hold, a hand to kiss, the ordinary quiet choices. I used to chase the bigger view, the open door, the crowded city. But quiet rooms are honest too, and small love holds without a pity. So pull the blanket to your chin, let the world go back to sleeping. There is no race that we must win, there is no bell that we are keeping. Slightly out of frame, that is where I wanna be. Holding just your name, in a pocket next to me. Not the center, not the light, just a figure warm and steady there beside you through the night. Soft and hurried, calm and ready. Slightly out of frame, slightly, slightly, slightly out of frame. Slightly out of frame, out of frame. The night falls gentle. I am near, I am near, I am near, still here. The night falls gentle. I am near, softly, softly out of frame. The blinds let in a stripe of light. The cup is empty, cool and slow. I turn the page, I close my eyes. The street below is dim and low. A car goes past, the window hums. My shoulders drop, my breath is long. I am not lost, I am just here, slightly out of frame, still strong. The kettle ticks, then clicks off. I pour it out, I let it steam. My laptop hums a quiet blue. The cursor blinks a steady dream. I trace the rim with my thumb. I hear the neighbor lock their door. The night is soft, the night is wide. I do not need to ask for more, so let it be, let it breathe. Let the city dim to gray. I am resting, I am held by the ordinary day. So let it be, let it slow, let the minutes simply stay. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am here, but you do not know my name. Softly moving through the room, softly holding what remains. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am whole, I am warm, I am breathing through the lane. The phone is face down on the wood. I did not need to check the time. The shadows pool around my feet. A simple hour, a simple climb. I wipe the table with my sleeve. I fold a sweater, I stand still. The city hums its distant tune. I let it move me where it will. I used to chase the brighter lights. I used to count the small regrets. Tonight the room is good to me. Tonight I have not placed my bets. I am a window, I am glass. I am the street that has gone soft. I am the note that holds the chord before the song is lifted off. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am here, but I am not to blame. Softly moving through the room, softly breathing through the lane. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am whole, I am warm, I am holding what remains. The light is fading from the wall, the cup is empty once again. I whisper to the quiet room, slightly out of frame. Amen. Softly, softly out of frame. The room is quiet now, almost holding breath. A cup of tea is cooling on the desk. The street outside is gone to silver thread. I am not chasing what is coming next. Rain taps soft against the window glass. The shadow stretches low along the floor. The evening folds itself in gentle gray. I want a little less, I want a little more. A neighbor's dog is barking down the block. A motorbike goes humming past the gate. The city pulls its blanket through the dark, and every little sound arrives a little late. I think of all the messages I never sent, of conversations hanging in the air. The weeks I meant to tend, the weeks I let, the simple kind of love that needs no prayer. I am not lost, I am just slightly out of frame. A little to the side of every plan. I do not need the world to know my name. I only need this quiet while I stand. The curtain stirs a little in the breeze. A breath comes in, a breath goes out like tide. I am not broken, I am only at my ease, letting go of every need to write. Slightly out of frame, and that is fine with me. Not the center of the photograph, just a shadow on the edge. Soft as can be, learning how to live inside the aftermath. Slightly out of frame, the colors slowly blend into a wash of indigo and rust. I do not have to fight, I do not have to bend, held by all the ordinary things I trust. The pillow, the slow song, the dust upon the shelf, the unlatched back door, the half-remembered smile. Out of frame, and I am finding myself inside the quiet things I rest in for a while. Tomorrow there will be a list of things to do, an inbox full of words I have not read. A version of myself I am walking to, a version of the day I left unsaid. But here, right now, the lamp draws circles low. The cat is sleeping on the pile of yesterday. I let the busy little river slow and watch the minutes softly slip away. I pick the cup back up, I drink it warm. I close the book I never meant to read. I let the smallest kind of silence form a blanket made of nothing but the things I need. There is a freedom in not being seen, a kind of grace in walking through the room alone. A music playing underneath the scene, a hum beneath the hum, a voice beneath the tone. I am not hiding, I am letting be the part of me that steps away from noise, the part that wants the minor key, the part that finds a home inside the small and soft. Slightly out of frame, and I can finally breathe. Not the answer, not the question posed, just a witness to the day as quiet as the eve. A footnote in the margin gently composed. Slightly out of frame, the room is wide and slow. The window holds a sliver of the moon. I do not have to prove, I do not have to know. I am simply here, arriving not too soon. The teacup, the soft hum, the key inside the door, the shot I carry. Morning on the counter, keys beside the sink. Light is moving slower than the way I think. Steam is curling off the cup I left too long. Songs are in the hallway, quiet as a song. Phone is face down on the wood, no rush to see. Nothing in the inbox is calling out to me. I am standing easy, shoulders finding room, letting the room hold me without a need to move. Curtain half closed, the street has gone to gray. Neighborhood is waking in a gentle way. Someone walking past me with a folded bag. Dogs across the pavement leaving tiny tracks. I don't need a reason to be out today. Just my shoes and the sidewalk and the light that stays. Every step a little softer than the last. Holding what I'm giving, not recalling the past. If the day is quiet, let it be quiet. If the air is heavy, I will not fight it. I am not lost, I am not late. Just a little slow to find my shape. A little slow, a little still. Letting time decide what time will slightly out of frame. And I'm breathing fine. Edges of the picture getting soft with time. I don't have to hold it, I don't have to name. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Letting go like a hand unclasped. Letting go of the thing I grasp. Nothing has to hurry, nothing has to change. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Afternoon arriving with the heavier gold. Shadows of the houseplants bending as they hold. A book is open somewhere that I'll get to soon. Pages in the lamplight like a sleepy tune. I am not forgetting, I am letting land. Every thought arriving with a softer hand. If someone asks me later what I did today, I'll just say I rested, I'll just say I stayed. Maybe I was holding too many ropes at once, tying all my edges to a single chance. Now the knot's a loser, now the line is slack. I am walking lighter and I'm not looking back. Let the world be blurry, let the edges fade. Let the song keep playing, let the record stay. I am here, in the in-between. Quietest I've ever been, quietest I've seen. Slightly out of frame and the room is wide. Soft electric piano rolling like a tide. I don't have to prove it, I don't have to claim. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Letting go like a door swung wide. Letting go with no place to hide. Nothing has to hurry, nothing has to chase. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Cup is cooling slowly on the table now. Light is on the window, soft as a slow bow. I am here to stay. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Letting go, letting go, letting. Mornings start with a quiet hum. The radio clicking slow. Half a mug of tea getting cold. Phone face down by the radio. I trace the line where the shadow lands. Counting tiles on the kitchen floor. Nothing pulls, nothing demands. Just the sound of a closing door. I let the silence do its work. Watching dust drift in the light. Every little thing finds its place when I stop trying to hold it tight. The street outside has gone soft again. Traffic moving like a slow stream. A neighbor waves from a window pane. The whole block feels like a dream. I pull my chair a little closer to the glass where the morning breaks. Reading words I don't need to answer, just the comfort of empty pages. My shoulders drop, my eyes go wide, tracing clouds that are barely there. I am learning how to sit still in a room full of open air. And it feels like I can finally see all the edges that don't need me. Soft and steady, quiet and slow, letting the small things teach me how to let go. Slightly out of frame, but I am here, I am here. Slightly out of frame, the picture still feels clear. Slightly out of frame, I don't need to be seen. Slightly out of frame, just a quiet in between. Slightly out of frame, letting the edges fade. Slightly out of frame in the light I made. Slightly out of frame, I am whole, I am whole. Slightly out of frame, learning how to stroll. The afternoon hums a different tune, warmer now. The air feels kind, I water plants by the living room. Talk to myself, don't mind. The cat sleeps in a patch of sun. The clock ticks off against the wall. I realize what I have become, someone who can catch the small. The way the wood floor creaks and bends, the smell of bread from down the hall. Nothing ends, nothing pretends, just the grace of being in it all. I write a note I'll never send, a little list of what I know, that being here is not pretend. It's the only place to grow. So let the cameras look away, let the world keep its busy sound. I've got a window, I got a day, I've got a peace that I have found. Not in a mountain, not in a song, not in a place I'll never see, but in this moment, right or wrong, in this ordinary simple me. Let the room get a little hazy, let the tea get a little cold. I've stopped trying to be so busy, learning the weight of what I hold. Slightly out of frame, but I am here, I am here. Slightly out of frame, the picture still feels clear. Slightly out of frame, I don't need to be seen. Slightly out of frame, just a quiet in between. Slightly out of frame, letting the edges fade. Slightly out of frame and in the light I made. Slightly out of frame, I am whole, I am whole. Slightly out of frame, learning how to stroll. Slightly out of frame, soft light on the floor. Slightly out of frame, don't need nothing more. Slightly out of frame. The morning slipped in through the curtain slow. A teacup on the table, still too hot to hold. I watched the dust move lazy through the light and let the quiet settle into white. The city woke in pieces, soft and gray. A car door closing somewhere far away. I traced the rim of nothing with my thumb and listened for the day before it comes. There's a sweater folded on the chair you left. It still keeps the shape of how you wore it best. I don't reach for it, I just let it be. A small museum of your memory. The neighbor's cat is sleeping on the wall. The kettle whistles low, then doesn't call. I'm learning how to live at half the speed and find the warmth inside the things I need. I'm not broken, I'm just rearranged, holding patterns that no longer change. Letting go doesn't mean I'm letting go of you. It just means I can finally walk through. Slightly out of frame, but I'm still here. Slightly out of frame, but I am near. Not forgotten, not erased, just standing in the haze. Slightly out of frame, but warm, okay. The room remembers you, the room remembers me. Slightly out of frame, but I can breathe. I'm finding out that softer isn't lost. I'm finding out that softer isn't lost. Slightly out of frame, I am still close. The street outside has gone a little blurred, like someone painted over every word. I walk it anyway, both shoes untied. A slow parade of thoughts I haven't tried. There's a coin I drop behind the dresser drawer. I hear it when the floorboards creak and pour. A small reminder that I'm not undone. There's some things wait until I'm ready, son. Let me be the version that comes back slow. Let me be the steady, let me be the low. I don't need the story to be bright and loud, just real enough to make my mother proud. There's a window open, there's a breeze, a chair. There's a version of me combing through her hair. I'm not erasing anything, I'm just making room. I'm not erasing anything, I'm just making room. Slightly out of frame, but I'm still here. Slightly out of frame, but I am near. Not forgotten, not erased, just standing in the haze. Slightly out of frame, but warm, okay. The room remembers you, the room remembers me. Slightly out of frame, but I can breathe. I'm finding out that softer isn't lost. I'm finding out that softer isn't lost. Slightly out of frame, I am still close. Letting go, letting go. The teacup's cool, letting go. I'm still full, the light is soft, the window slightly open wide. Letting go, letting go. I'm on the other side, slightly out of frame. Slightly out of frame, I'm still here. The kettle hums, then quiet again. Afternoon is dragging its feet, and neighbor's radio plays the same refrain. Half heard through the wall, half asleep on the street. I let the cup cool down to almost warm. Watch the steam thin out into the room. Nothing's rushing me, nothing's keeping form. Just the light moving slow across the broom. A car door closes somewhere far below. A dog decides he's finished with the day. I tilt my chair a quarter inch or so and let the minutes have their quiet way. My notebook's open, and between my teeth I haven't written half the things I meant. The ceiling fan repeats its small belief. The moving air is something heaven sent. A message on my phone begins to glow. I read it twice, I said it gently down. The words can wait, they're not in any hurry. Though the street outside is wearing a softer crown. There's dust on every surface catching sun. There's coffee going cold beside my hand. I count the things I've gently left undone, and they don't ask for more than what I've planned. And the room knows what I'm thinking, and the room don't say a thing. I keep drifting, barely sinking, let the quiet do its thing. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, where the edges go a little soft, where the light forgets my name. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I'm not lost, I'm not afraid, I'm just somewhere unexclaimed. Slightly out of frame, still here, still here, still here. Breathing slow, breathing clear. Is drawing white across the blue. I wonder where it's going, then I don't. The curtain stirs the way that curtains do, and everything I plan becomes a note. A neighbor waves from 3 balconies down. I lift my hand, we both look slightly pleased. The city makes that small familiar sound of doors and dogs and children being teased. My tea is cold, but I will drink it still. It's only warmth, it's only what it is. The afternoon is bending to a hill, and I'm content with how I'm finished. This is. If you were sitting here, you wouldn't say much either. You just put your feet up on the chair. You trace the light with one calm finger and let the room become a kind of prayer. Nothing here is asking to be fixed, nothing here is begging to be seen. We'd watch the shadow mix into the ordinary green. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, where the edges go a little soft, where the light forgets my name. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I'm not lost, I'm not afraid, I'm just somewhere unexclaimed. Slightly out of frame, still here, still here, still here. Breathing slow, breathing clear. Slightly out of frame. The street is going soft now, slightly out of frame. I'm still here, slightly out of frame, still here. Still here. Still here in the morning, the kettle starts to hum, steam curling sideways, the daylight has come. I leave the curtains half closed, the room stays kinda gray. A cup is waiting for me where I always stay. My shoes by the door where laces loose and tied wrong. I haven't checked my phone in a while, the silence is long. The street outside is waking, just a car and a dog. I let the quiet hold me, don't need to keep the lock. There's a leaf on the window, stuck against the glass, it hasn't fallen yet. It's choosing how to last. My reflection's fading in the tea. I barely look away, just the curve on my shoulder, a slow and easy day. I walk a little further now, not sure where I'm led. The pavement holds the night shift, the lines I used to tread. Some houses have their porch lights on, some have gone to sleep. I count the small familiar things I get to keep. And I'm not in a hurry, I'm not in a rush. I'm letting the hours turn soft to a hush. Just a breath and a step, and the world stays the same. I'm here, I'm right here, slightly out of frame. I'm still here, still here, slightly out of frame. The light falls easy, nothing left to name. I'm still here, still here, soft as an old flame. A little to the left, a little to the side. I'm still here, still here. No need to hide. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The neighbor waves from the lawn, I way back from the road. The mailman knows my rhythm now, the weight of what I hold. The radio is playing something I half know by heart. A song about a Sunday, the way the moments part. My hands are in my pockets, my collar's turned up high. The weather hasn't decided if it's leaving or arriving by and by. I find a bench that knows me, the wood is warm and worn. I sit and let the morning be the morning, not a storm. I used to chase the bigger things, the city and the noise. Now I find the quiet has a different kind of voice. It tells me I'm allowed to take the long way home. It tells me I'm allowed to sit and simply be alone. And alone isn't lonely when the light is soft this way. Alone is just a gentle kind of ordinary day. I'm still here, still here, still slightly out of frame. The street has gone so quiet, nothing left to claim. I'm still here, still here, soft as an old flame. A little to the left, a little to the side. I'm still here, still here. No need to hide. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The evening starts to settle, the windows glow again. I'm still here, slightly out of frame. Just breathing, still here. Still here in the morning light, the kettle ticking in its steam, curtain moving slow on its own. I leave it open, let it lean. Coffee going cold on the table, phone face down beside my keys. Nothing asking me to move yet, so I wash the dust on the leaves. The street outside is half asleep, a car pulls out, then nothing comes. I count the seconds, lose the count. The radio hums what it hums. Your name is sitting in my mouth, not a word, more like a tone. I hold it there, I let it sit, I let it be a thing I own. No need to chase what I can't name, no need to find a way to say. I just notice what is near, I just notice it today. Everything a little softer, every edge a little tame. Slightly out of frame, but I can feel you still. Slightly out of frame, and I probably will keep on living in this window, keep on breathing in this light. Slightly out of frame, but I am holding you tonight, holding you tonight, holding you tonight. The neighbor drags a bin out slow, a dog goes by then turns around. I hear my own feet on the floor, a small familiar sound. I water plants, I almost lost. I fold a shirt, I touch the hem. These hands have something good to do, they don't reach for anything else. Maybe love is not a moment, maybe it's a cup you hold. Maybe it's the way you sit when someone isn't there to hold. I am not alone, I am just quiet. I am not lost, I am just slow. The room is full of ordinary, the kind most people never know. Slightly out of frame, but I can feel you still. Slightly out of frame, and I probably will keep on living in this window, keep on breathing in this light. Slightly out of frame, but I am holding you tonight, holding you tonight, holding you tonight. Just breathing, just breathing. Still here, still here. The light goes long across the floor, and I don't need it any clearer. Just breathing, still here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. curtain moves a little by the wall. Coffee went cold, I didn't notice at all. Phone face down, the screen is dark again. Same loose shirt, same quiet room, same rain. I count the hum inside the refrigerator, small and steady like a patient neighbor. You asked me once what I was waiting for. I didn't have a real answer anymore. Maybe just the bus to pass the window slow. Maybe just a sound I didn't need to know. There is a peace in things I cannot name. A hallway light, a sock, an open frame. I am not lost, I'm slightly out of frame. A half a step behind the picture, all the same. Not in a hurry to be center of the light, just watching the room breathe easy tonight. Slightly out of frame, and I'm okay where I stand. Not running, not in pain, just a softer kind of plan. If you see me at the edge, waving slow across the blue, I'm right here on the ledge. Quiet, ordinary, true, slightly out of frame, still belonging anyway. The street outside has lost its usual heat. A paper bag is rolling down the street. I see a cat sit calmly on a car, deciding nothing, simply where you are. The neighbor plays a piano through the wall, not for an audience, just for us all. I used to chase the clarity I crave, sharp conclusions, every question saved. Now I let a few of them dissolve like sugar in a cup I haven't stirred. There is a kind of truth that stays unheard, but it still warms the room, I swear it does. Soft enough to trust, small enough to hold. Slightly out of frame, but not at all cold. Slightly out of frame, and I'm okay where I stand. Not running, not in pain, just a softer kind of plan. If you find me at the edge, humming slow into the blue, I still hear every word. Quiet, ordinary, true, slightly out of frame, still belonging, still the same. Window light upon the floor, cup still sitting by the door. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in slow. Nowhere else I need to go, slightly out of frame, just here. The streetlight outside is leaning half asleep. Cars pass slow like they don't want to leave. My tea went cold before I took a sip. Phone on the table, face down on a quiet trip. I trace the wood grain with my fingertip, counting the dust that learned how to keep still. Air through the window feels like warm sand, and I'm learning what it means to feel, yeah. There's a record spinning no one has heard. The needle caught a groove and forgot the words. My neighbor's curtain flickers like a screen, showing a life that has nothing to mean. I wave anyway just to be seen, then I settle back into my chair. The room is honest, the room is lean, and breathing feels like prayer. Nothing pulls at my sleeve anymore, nothing asks me to explain. The clock ticks off against the floor, and I let it tick the same. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Nowhere else I need to go, nowhere else I need to know. The world is wide but I am small, and that's the sweetest place of all. Slightly out of frame, just here, I'm slightly out of frame. My jacket's hanging by the crooked door, like it forgot the shape I wore before. I pull a blanket blanket to my shoulder bone and watch the ceiling hold its own. There's no performance in this room of mine, no reason to pretend I'm fine or not fine. Just the hum of something slowly growing on a vine. I cannot run. If you find me later in a different light, a different window, a different night, know that the version that you knew was true, and this one is too. The quiet hasn't broken me, the quiet just found room for me, a space between the in and out where I am finally out of doubt. Slightly out of frame, nowhere else I need to go, nowhere else I need to know. The world is loud but I'm still, and that's the gentlest kind of skill. Slightly out of frame, just here, I'm slightly out of frame. The street light finally closes its eye, the tea is warm again. I don't know why my breath goes in, my breath goes slow. There is nowhere I have to go. Yeah, slightly out of frame, just here. The kettle clicks off, I let it sit. Steam curling slow, I'm used to it. Curtain pulling in a stripe of gray, watching how the dust decides to stay. Phone is face down, no little glow. Even time seems to take it slow. Mornings used to pull me by the sleeve. Now I let them come, I let them leave. There's a jacket hanging by the door, it remembers walks I don't wear anymore. The hallway hums a quiet tune, a radiator singing through the room. I count the tiles above the sink, the small routines that make me think that ordinary is a kind of grace, a familiar kind of gentle space. Not lost, just slightly out of frame. Not chasing, not forgetting names, just breathing in a softer light, letting ordinary things feel right. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, where the quiet has a name, and I don't need to explain. The window's open just a crack, cool air finds my back. No performance, no refrain, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The street outside has lost its rush, even the traffic hushes into hush. A neighbor waves from down the lane, slowly, like a thought you can't explain. I pour the tea, I let it cool. Nothing here is trying to be beautiful, just real, just warm, just in this place. A small permission to just stay. I used to run to find the view, now the view is in the room, in the shadow on the wall, in the way the evening calls. I'm not hiding, I'm not gone, just existing where I belong. Have a smile, a steady breath, a small undoing back from depth. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, where the quiet has a name, and I don't need to explain. The cup is empty, that's okay, I'll wash it another day. Nothing pulling at my name. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The light is fading slow, the street is letting go. I'm right here, not far, just where the soft things are. Slightly out of frame, just here. Yeah. The light came sliding down the hallway wall, a slow parade across the kitchen floor. My coffee cooled before I took a sip, and nothing in the room was asking more. I heard the city through a half-closed pane, a siren drifting past the laundry line. My hands were still, my shoulders finally dropped. A small, honest quiet settling on the spine. You left your jacket folded on the chair, the collar soft, the zipper all undone. I didn't move it like the shape it made, a small repair the afternoon had won. The fridge was humming like a tight choir. The street outside had finally lost its name. I traced a thumbnail down the tabletop and wondered if you noticed I was changed. Maybe that is all that love can be, a room that holds the weather of your face. Maybe it is just the way we stay, when no one keeps the clocks or keeps the place. Slightly out of frame, just where the soft things lean into the light. I don't need the world to spell my name tonight. Just here, just here, just here, beside you in the quiet light. Slightly out of frame and I am doing fine. Just here. There is a kettle warming on the stove, a calendar with squares I haven't turned. The radio is playing something low, a song you once described but never learned. I watch my shadow bend across the rug, a gentle slant that knew the room by heart. And though I cannot promise where I'll be, I know the kind of peace that you impart. So let the evening get a little long, let the dishes rest beside the sink, let the curtains hold the city back, and let me sit a moment just to think. If love is only noticing the glow, the cup, the coat, the coming of the rain, then I have loved you long before I knew. And I will love you past the last refrain. Slightly out of frame, just where the soft things lean into the light. I don't need the world to spell my name tonight. Just here, just here, just here, beside you in the quiet light. Slightly out of frame and I am doing fine. Just here, yeah. The street is gone too soft, the lamp is low. Your breathing finds the rhythm of the room. I stay a while, I stay a while, I stay slightly out of frame. Just here. The kettle hums a low and steady tone. Steam curls above the cup I never pour alone. Curtains shift like breath against the wall. Tuesday light is on the floor, I let it fall. The room is quiet, almost holding me. I turn the page but I'm not reading, you see. Just checking that the words are still the same, that nothing moved while I was learning your name. A neighbor's dog is sleeping in the yard. I hear the fencing with the wind barely hard. A car door closes 2 streets down from here, and even that small sound feels gentle on my ear. I stand and stretch my shoulders, find the light. The coffee's going cold, but it will be alright. I made a life of slow returning things, a cup, a song, adore the peace that mornings bring. And I don't need to push the day along, it moves itself, a river, not a song. I lean against the kitchen counter now and feel the ordinary take a bow. Slightly out of frame, that's where I stay. Quiet as a lamp that knows the way, not hiding, just not rushing to be seen. Soft as morning curling through the screen. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I stay, the ordinary keeps the noise at bay. A breath, a step, a window open wide. Slightly out of frame, and that's my pride. The grocery list is folded in my hand. A pen is rolling somewhere I don't understand. I leave a note that simply says be back. I know the path by heart, I know the lack of anything I'm running from today. The street is slow, we're almost in a daze. A child waves from behind a garden gate. I nod, I smile, I don't accelerate. If you were here, I'd pour a second cup and place it where the morning's warming up. We wouldn't have to fill the room with words, just hum along with all the common birds. I'd hand you something warm, you'd hand it back. The smallest things, the things that never crack. And if the world turned loud, we let it pass. Two silhouettes against a single pane of glass. Slightly out of frame, that's where I stay. Quiet as a lamp that knows the way. Not hiding, just not rushing to be seen. Soft as morning curling through the screen. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I stay, the ordinary keeps the noise at bay. A breath, a step, a window open wide. Slightly out of frame, and that's my pride. The street outside is softer than before. I close the door, the latch makes its own chore. The kettle clicks, the room begins to dim. I'm slightly out of frame and home within. I stay just here.
The curtain lifts a little, sun is on the floor. My coffee's gone cold, but I don't mind it anymore. The street outside is starting to slow down its song. A neighbor waves a hand and just keeps walking on. My phone is face down next to a paperback spine. The light is getting longer, almost out of line. I count the little specks of dust inside the sun. A simple kind of morning and nothing to be done. I write a note to no one, fold it shut and slide. It doesn't need a destination, just somewhere to hide. There's music from a window that I can't quite place. A car door closing gently somewhere down the street. The kettle clicks, the room begins to dim. I pull my sweater closer, let the quiet settle in. My shadow on the wall is softer than my name. I'm slightly out of frame, and that feels just the same. I'm letting the day be small. I'm letting the hours fall. No need to make it mean a thing. Just hear the morning sing. Stay with me here. Stay where the light goes soft. Stay with me here. Above and just aloft. We don't have to hurry. We don't have to know. Just stay right where you are and let the evening glow. Stay with me here. Breathe with the room. Stay with me here. Slow like the bloom. I am slightly out of frame, but I am not alone. I am slightly out of frame and finally home. The cat is slow to greet me at the hallway door. She blinks like she remembers things from before. A book falls off the shelf, I pick it up again. Its pages feel like weather, like a gentle rain. I hum a small unfinished thing I barely know. The sound of my own voice in a quiet glow. The street outside has started, then it's been all week. The world is at the window, but it's too shy to speak. If you should find me drifting, don't pull me to shore. Let me ride the easy current for a little more. Some days are just for sitting and watching the light. Some days are just for staying gently through the night. I don't need the whole picture, I don't need the name. I'm learning to be happy, slightly out of frame. Stay with me here. Stay where the light goes soft. Stay with me here. Above and just aloft. We don't have to hurry. We don't have to know. Just stay right where you are and let the evening glow. Stay with me here. Breathe with the room. Stay with me here. Slow like the bloom. I am slightly out of frame, but I am not alone. I am slightly out of frame and finally home. So let the day grow quiet. Let the kettle hum. Let the street outside forget where it came from. I'll be here a little while. I'll be softly still, slightly out of frame as it comes through. The kettle clicks off, but I don't move.
move yet. Watching dust turn slow in the kitchen like there's a jacket hanging where I left it last September. And the floorboard keeps a creak that feels polite. Steam curls up to meet a window I forgot to clean. The whole apartment has the patience of a friend. I trace a circle on the table with my fingertip just to prove that I am here, just to feel again. A neighbor walks her dog the same forgiving route. Headphones and she hums a song she barely knows. I let my shoulders drop another quiet inch and let the list of things I should do gently close. There's a book I've started 4 times, same dog-eared page, a receipt from somewhere I can't quite recall. The fridge hums low, a small familiar engine keeping all my little moments in its hole. And I'm not hiding, I'm just resting in the margins, letting all the bright alarms pass me by. There's a kind of freedom in not being noticed, like a coin that tumbles slowly through the sky. Slightly out of frame, where the edges start to soften. Slightly out of frame, but I am still inside. If the world forgets to look for me this evening, I'll be right here, watching shadows open wide. Slightly out of frame, breathing slow and breathing steady. Slightly out of frame, with my hands beside the light. I'm not lost, I'm not lonely, I'm just learning how to be a little softer through the night. The streetlight flickers once and then remembers, like it's practicing a role it almost had down. I push my chair back from the table just an inch and feel the whole room breathe a softer kind of sound. There's a message I should answer, but the typing can't wait. Tomorrow has a way of showing up on time. I pour a glass of water like it's something sacred. Let the cold run through my hand, let the moment climb. Maybe being missed is just a quiet rumor, traveling slow from someone I might never see. There's a peace in being no one's main attention, like a song that plays between the songs and sets you free. I close my eyes but I'm not really sleeping, I'm just listening to the house be still with me. Every tick, every small familiar settling is a tiny kind of company. Slightly out of frame, where the day begins to loosen. Slightly out of frame, but I can feel the ground. If the city keeps on turning without asking, I'll be drifting gently, making not a sound. Slightly out of frame, with the evening slowly folding. Slightly out of frame, like a page that wants to turn. I'm not gone, I'm not hiding, I'm just breathing in a corner of the night that lets me learn. The street outside forgets where it came from now. I'll be here a little while, breathing slow and deep, slightly out of frame, and that's a kind of peace. Slightly out of frame, a little. Morning light is leaning through the curtain slow. Steam still rising from a cup I touched an hour ago. Phone is on the table face down, no new sound. I let the quiet settle where it wants to be found. Plants are stretching toward the window, pale and green. Softest kind of day I've ever seen or seen between. No big revelation sitting in my open hands. Just this room, this breath, the quietest of plants. Outside, the street is softer than it was last night. Even the neon hums a little lower in the light. I notice how the towel feels cool beneath my feet. The way a simple morning can feel so complete. No one asking anything, no clock pulling me. Just the gentle drift of being where I'm meant to be. I run my thumb along the edge of yesterday and watch a little piece of it just float away. I'm not chasing anything, I'm not falling behind. I'm just here, I'm just breathing, I'm just gently aligned. Let the world go on without me for a while. Let the corners of the room hold a softer kind of smile. Slightly out of frame, and the morning feels just right. Slightly out of frame, in the soft electric light. Slightly out of frame, where the ordinary breeze space beneath the ease. I'm a little out of focus, a little out of name, but I'm here, I'm still here, just the same, just the same, just the same. Slightly out of frame, There's a book I've been returning to, page after page, reading the same calm sentences like a quiet stage. The cat is sleeping in the square of afternoon, and I'm tracing little shapes of nothing, almost a tune. Yesterday I worry, but I don't recall what for. Today the ceiling fan is singing on the floor. Even the silence has a texture I can hold, like the warmest kind of secret I have ever told. Maybe this is what they mean by letting go. Not a grand surrender, just a softer, slower flow. Let the inbox wait, let the future take its time. Let me stay right here in this gentle paradigm. I'm allowed to be a little out of view. I'm allowed to be a little more like morning dew, disappearing slowly, but still glistening still, just existing softly against the window, slightly out of frame. And the breathing feels so deep, slightly out of frame, like a promise I can't keep. Slightly out of frame, where the shadows know my name. Slightly out of frame, but I feel no shame. I'm a little out of focus, a little out of place, but I'm held, I'm still held in this quiet space. This quiet space, this quiet space. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of Slightly out of frame. Let the evening softly fall. Slightly out of frame. I don't need to know it all. Slightly out of frame. Just the breath, the light, the room. Slightly out of frame. Gently fading. The blinds are tilted just enough to let the morning lead. A stripe of sun sits on the floor where it has always been. My tea is cooling in a cup with a small chip on the rim. I trace the crack with my thumb, humming something on a whim. The neighbor's dog is sleeping underneath the kitchen chair. A siren in the distance falls into the morning air. I count the seconds as they pass slow and unafraid, learning how to simply be inside the day I've made. My notebook lies open to a page I haven't touched. A sentence waits politely, it is not asking much. The pencil rolls a little as I write a single line, then pause to watch the curtain breathe the way it sways on time. There's music playing somewhere low beneath the city hum, a voice I've known for years, a quiet kind of welcome come. I don't need the day to lead me anywhere at all. Just let me sit inside this light, inside this slow recall. I am here, I am present, I am watching close. Every little ordinary thing, every breath I almost lost. Nothing fancy, nothing broken, nothing I should prove. Just the morning in the moment, just the way I move. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am drifting soft, not far away, just a half step from the light of day. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. If you look for me, you'll find me close in the steam above the cup I hold. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am present though I barely show, loving you in ways you'll never know. The street outside is settled, even taxis slow their pace. The bakery across the way still hides a quiet face. A woman in a yellow coat is watering her plants. She nods and meet the window glass, two strangers in a trance. I notice how her hands are sure the way the water bends. I think about the years I spent on holding things in, and how the smallest ordinary scene could set me free. Just a glance, a wave, a pause, a cup of tea. Don't ask me where I'm going, I don't have a place to be. Just sitting with the morning, letting it sit with me. If I'm hard to find later, it's because I'm right here in the half light. Right here, my day out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am drifting soft, not far away, just a half step from the light of day. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. If you look for me, you'll find me near, in the hush between the words you hear. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am present though I barely show, loving you in ways you'll come to know. The cup, the chair, the light, the street, the small familiar things, the breath I take, the breath I give, the quiet song it brings. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, just Morning coming through the curtain slow, dust is turning gold where the window glows. Coffee steam is rising soft and slow. I am sitting here not ready to go. Phone is face down on the wooden floor. Laundry basket by the open door. Outside someone rides a bicycle by. I just watch the day begin to rise. Pen is resting where I left it last. Pages cooling from the afternoon past. Even shadows here know how to wait. Nothing in this room feels rushed or late. Evening folding into kitchen light. Fridge is humming somewhere out of sight. I pour a glass of water, clear and plain. Let the quiet cool the back of my brain. Neighbors laugh behind a paper wall. Muffled, gentle, nothing loud at all. Just the ordinary sound of being near. People I have never met, but I hear. Streetlight yellow on the empty street. Buses pulling to a quiet beat. I am standing by the window pane, feeling like the city knows my name. Not lost, not found, not chasing sound. Just breathing in this room, just breathing in this room. No need to run, no need to prove. I am here, I am here, I am letting go. Yeah. Slightly out of frame, that is where I stay. Slightly out of frame, where the soft things stay. Slightly out of frame, not invisible, just slow. Slightly out of frame, letting moments flow. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, just slightly out of frame. And I am not to blame. Rain is starting on the metal roof. Soft and patient like a quiet proof that the sky can also take its time. Falling gently, never in a line. Shoes are drying by the radiator. Heat is moving like a slow translator of the day into the coming night. Turning worry into softer light. Letters written in a steady hand. Words I finally begin to understand. Some are heavy, some are light as air. All of them are saying I am there. So if you cannot find me, do not look. I am not hiding, I am not a book with a chapter you can neatly trace. I am just a quiet, unhurried space. A surface where the morning light can land. A table where an empty cup will stand. A window that is slightly open wide. A breath I take before the turning tide. Slightly out of frame, that is where I stay. Slightly out of frame, where the soft things stay. Slightly out of frame, not invisible, just slow. Slightly out of frame, letting moments flow. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, just slightly out of frame. And I am not to blame. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Slightly out of frame, light is fading slow on the wall. Slightly out of frame, just slightly out of frame. Breathe in, breathe out, that is all. Slightly out of frame. slips in sideways through the curtain. A pale gold line, it finds the edge of the cup. Steam curls up slow, I don't need to chase it. Just watch it bend and dissolve into the wall. My hands are still, my phone is face down. Nothing is asking me to answer right now. I trace a circle on the fog of the window and write a word I will probably forget. The street below has gone soft with the rain. Tires pass like whispers on the asphalt. A neighbor's dog is barking at the clouds, and someone is dragging a chair across a porch. I wonder if they know how quiet it is here, if they can feel the room just holding its breath. I pull my knees up close and count the seconds, each one lighter than the one before it came. Maybe I don't need the whole picture today. Maybe the blur is where the tenderness stays. I can feel the floor and I can feel the cool air, and that is more than enough to carry me through. I am slightly out of frame, and I am finally okay with the space. Slightly out of frame, where the light is soft on the side of my face. Breathe in, breathe out, let the edges fall. I don't have to be seen to feel real at all. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. There's a song still looping from last night, the same 3 chords that know me by name. I let it play until the meaning dissolves, just to shape a sound I can rest inside. My tea has gone cold, but I left it anyway. A small ritual that asks for nothing back. The clock ticks on, but I am not keeping score. Time feels like a river I am learning to float on. If you saw me here, you might not notice it all. Just a silhouette, a breath behind the glass. But the silence is a kind of company now. It does not interrupt, it does not demand. I am learning how to be a softer thing, how to let the hours pass without a name. And maybe that is all this heart was after, to exist without the need to be framed. I am slightly out of frame, and the world keeps turning without my weight. Slightly out of frame, where the shadows gather and the noise fades. Breathe in, breathe out, let the moment be. I don't have to be sharp to feel close to me. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The window light is moved across the floor now. My cup is empty and it feels alright. Breathe in, breathe out, that is all. Slightly out of frame, softly out of frame. Just where I belong tonight. Morning takes its time today. Window lays a square of light upon the floor. Cup still warm beside my hand, I don't reach for more. Street outside is quiet now, a tire hums and passes slow. Pigeon on the rail sits out the rain, no need to know. I notice I am breathing without keeping score. Letting minutes be a little more. A chair remembers me, the kettle clicks and cools. No rush in anything I see. Shoulders find the back of where they belong. Breath goes deeper now, a slower kind of song. City through the glass has turned to watercolor sound. Even the alarm clock doesn't push me to rebound. There's no lift, no ladder I am climbing toward today. Just a folded blanket and a quiet place to stay. A book falls open to a page I haven't seen. Even words look softer in this in-between. I could write this down, I could pin the hour in a line, but the moment I reach for language it unwinds. So I let the silence keep what only silence knows, letting dust keep dancing where it chose. So I will stay where the hum is low. Let the morning teach me how to go. Let the stillness be the only glow. And if the world keeps turning past my door, I don't have to keep the pace anymore. Slightly out of frame, softly out of frame, just where I belong tonight. Slightly out of frame, far from the aim, living in the in-between light. Not behind and not ahead, not the story or the thing unsaid. Just a window, just a breath, just a steady name. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. And I am not ashamed, I am just a little out of frame. There's a folder on my phone of things I didn't send, drafts that felt like thunder I could barely hold. I opened one and read it like a letter to a friend, then let it close again. A little less unsaid, a little more controlled. My reflection in the glass is hazy, half merged with the wall, almost there, almost not. A shape I'm learning not to name. I have stopped rehearsing answers for a future call, letting smaller things become the way I hold the day. A friend texts asking how I am this morning. I write back on a simple something plain. Just the weather, just the window, just the rain. And the reply, the lens feels like a step in grass into rooms where I can hear my own heartland at last. Not a poem, not a performance, not a polished glass, just a quiet bit of quiet in my hand. Maybe healing isn't something you can measure. Maybe it is learning how to stand still, letting absence be a soft and patient treasure, letting presence not demand a special skill. I will sit here while the afternoon grows longer, while the coffee moves from warm to cool. Slightly out of frame, softly out of frame, just where I belong tonight. Slightly out of frame, far from the aim, living in the in-between light. Not behind and not ahead, not the story or the thing unsaid. Just a window, just a breath, just a steady name. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. And I am not ashamed, I am just a little out of frame. Steam from the cup has curled into the air, and now it thins like a thought I didn't hold. The table holds the day without complaint, a book left open where I stopped to stare. My hands are resting, they have quit their role. I let the quiet be the only sound. The street below is turned to softer gray, a neighbor's dog is slow to make a sound. Someone dragging bins back to the curb. I track the light as it begins to fade. It finds the floor and slides across the ground, a gentle weight that nothing wants to perturb. If nothing needs me, I can finally breathe. If nothing pulls me, I can finally stay. The clock is walking where the seconds leave. The room is wide enough to drift away. I am not lost, I am not found. I am just here without a sound. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. A life I almost named, a face I cannot claim. I watch it from the side, the calm becomes my guide. The evening hums the same, slightly out of frame. I will not be ashamed to feel the world go tame. A message glows and dims without a sound. I leave it there, I leave it on the sill. The kettle ticks as it begins to cool. For once I let a moment just be found. Without a plan, without a careful will, I watch the dust perform a lazy tune. The pillow still remembers where I sat. The chair is warm although I moved away. I do not chase the things I used to chase. I do not force the morning to be late. I let the smaller joys decide the pace, and let the larger ones go soft and gray. Still here, still here, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. A life I almost named, a face I cannot claim. I watch it from the side, the calm becomes my guide. The evening hums the same, slightly out of frame. I will not be ashamed to feel the world go tame.
windows hold a quieter kind of blue. A single car is turning down the lane. I breathe and then I breathe and stay slightly out of frame.
The light is moving slow across the floor. I hear it touch the edge of where I sit. The cup on the table holds its warmth a little more. I watch the window soften bit by bit. A neighbor's curtain pulls itself away from sight. Outside the cars are turning quiet as they pass. The room begins to feel a little light. I let the silence settle in the glass. There's nothing that I need to solve right now. No message waiting for an honest reply. Just the small repeating ticks beneath the wall, and the slow surrendering of a tired sky. My shoulders learn the weight of letting go. A breath is almost finished when the next one starts. I keep the kind of company I know. I keep the quiet company of hearts. If you listen past the ringing of the day, you'll hear the street begin to lower. A softer kind of blue is on its way, and I am leaning out to meet the hour. No rush, no explanation left to say. Just the room and me and what is ours. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am here but not exactly by my name. Slowly learning how to be a little less. Slowly learning what the quiet can possess. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The window holds a picture I can't name. Slow breath coming through the open pane. Slightly out of frame. The streetlight hums a softer shade of gold. A single car is turning down the lane. The dashboard fades before I can be told. I breathe and then I breathe and I remain. There's no performance waiting on my face. No choreography of what to feel. The evening puts itself back into place. The morning is a thought I let congeal. I fold the paper neatly by my side. A page decides it doesn't need to stay. The teacup cools, the steam becomes a guide. I trace a line that gently moves away. Maybe this is what it sounds like when you stop. Maybe this is what arrives after the rush. A kind of ordinary, undiscovered crop. A small enough desire to feel a hush. I don't need the world to rearrange the room. I don't need the hallway to remember me. The air itself begins to gently bloom, and I am almost where I wanna be. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I am here but not exactly by my name. Slowly learning how to be a little less. Slowly learning what the quiet can possess. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The window holds a picture I can't name. Slow breath coming through the open pane. Slightly out of frame. The lamp beside the bed begins to fade. A pillow softly takes the shape of thought. I lay my almost worries in the shade. The kind of peace that cannot be bought. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The blinds are tilted, dust moving in the lane. Your jacket's still on the chair, you didn't change. I trace the rim of a glass I already drank. The city hums outside, but the room's gone blank. Steam from the kettle curls and fog against my face. I leave the door unlocked in this quiet place. No rush to turn the page or rewrite the day. Just me and the silence finding their way. There's a towel on the rail that hasn't dried yet. A receipt, a pen cap, a blue cigarette. The radio's on low, more breath than a song. The minute hand walks slowly, it won't be long. I count the small things that don't ask for a name. A sock by the door, the cat asleep again. A streetlight flickers, then decides to stay, borrowing the color from the end of day. And I'm learning how to sit inside an ordinary room, letting all the edges soften into bloom. No big reveal, no sudden light, just a calmer kind of you. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, holding nothing but the moment, nothing but the name of the light that's on the table, on the steam above the tea. I am here but slightly out of frame, and finally free. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, softly like a window closing without a sound. Slightly out of frame, and that is where I'm found. Your voice came earlier, it left a little glow. I played it back once more, then let it go. The bookshelf leans a little, the spine of a year. The notes I almost wrote still sitting here. A bicycle bell, a dog, a passing car, the ordinary miracles that we are. I fold the days of laundry warm against my chest. Nothing feels unfinished, nothing feels compressed. If I am a little blurry, let the world draw closer in. If I am a little distant, let the distance let me spin. Down to where the carpet's softer, down to where the breathing slows, down to where the only music is the tick before it goes. I don't need a sharper photograph, I don't need to be explained. Just a hand inside a sweater, just a window with no rays. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, holding nothing but the moment, nothing but the name of the light that's on the table, on the steam above the tea. I am here, but slightly out of frame, and finally out of frame. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, softly like a window closing without a sound. Slightly out of frame, and that is where I'm found. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. The cup is empty now, I don't refill it yet. The room keeps its secret, and I'm its quiet guest. The street outside has gone soft, the lamps begin to dim. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame, the silence lets me in. The curtain shifts a little, letting in the gray. A cup on the table is slowly drifting away. From heat to room temp, the steam no longer climbs. I'm counting all the minutes in slow and steady rhymes. The street outside is quieter than it was before. A car pulls up, idles, then leaves without a word. My phone is face down on the wood beside the lamp. I let the afternoon forget my name and camp. There's dust on the window ledge, a thin gold line. A book is open somewhere near the 49. I don't remember what the last full sentence meant, but I remember how the paper felt content. The neighbor hums a melody I almost know. It drifts through plaster walls, then decides to go. I'm sitting in the center of a quiet room, and letting all the shadows lose a little bloom. I don't need the whole picture, just a part. I don't need the loud answer, just the start. My breathing finds a rhythm with the day, and all the heavy edges slip away. So let me stay right here, slightly out of frame, when nothing pulls me closer to the name. Slightly out of frame, but I can see it all. Slightly out of frame, watching shadows fall. I don't need the center, I don't need the light. I'm okay with edges, I'm okay with night. Slightly out of frame, where the air is thin. Slightly out of frame, let the day begin. I'm a soft impression, I'm a quiet flame. Slightly, slightly, slightly out of frame. 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 There's music from a window 3 floors up above. Someone playing something gentle, almost like love. The bass note hums beneath the keys and finds my chest and folds me in a slow and tender kind of rest. The tea bag stain has made a small and perfect ring, a kind of proof that something warm was happening. The clock above the doorway clicks and clicks again. I'm not in any kind of rush to leave this plane. And if you look for me, don't look too hard. I'll be the breathing shadow in your yard. The love between 2 sentences you say, the pause that takes the busy world away. I don't mind the blur, I don't mind the slow, I don't mind the places that I cannot know. Just leave the light on, leave the door the same. I wander back, still calling out my name. Slightly out of frame, but I'm not far at all. Slightly out of frame, hear the echoes call. I don't need the spotlight, I don't need the stage. I'm okay with footnotes, I'm okay with gray. Slightly out of frame, where the wildflowers lean. Slightly out of frame, in the in-between. I'm a fading photograph, a half-remembered name. Slightly out of frame, 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 slightly out of frame. The lamp is dimming now, the page is turning slow. The street is empty, and the city Morning light is sitting on the kitchen floor. Steam is rising slow from a cup I poured before. I don't reach for anything, I just let it land. Quiet is a thing I can hold now in my hand. Curtains pulling gently at the window pane. Every shadow softer than it was yesterday. Nothing's asking anything, nothing wants a name. I am learning how to live inside the in-between. There's a street outside that used to feel so loud. Now the cars are passing slow beneath the tire cloud. I can hear my footsteps finally find their pace. Not too fast, not chasing, just a quiet place. Your voice still floats somewhere across the radio, like a song you heard but can't entirely know. I let the dial stay where it is and let it play. Some things don't need answers, they just wanna stay. And I am not waiting for a sign, I am just breathing in this room of mine. The world can keep its busy little flame. I'm a little softer now, slightly out of frame. Oh, slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I don't need the spotlight to feel seen, I don't need the volume to feel heard. I am learning how to be a softer word. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. And the silence lets me in, and the silence lets me in. So I let it. There's a letter folded at the back of a drawer. Words I almost sent but wasn't looking for. I won't throw it out, I'll let it rest instead. Some things only finish when you stop and let them in. My reflection in the window's getting clearer too. Not a perfect picture, just a softer point of view. I don't know the mirror, anything it claims. I am who I am and who I am is named. If you find me here, don't make a sound. I've been chasing lessons, slowing down. The world can have its brighter name. I'll be slightly, slightly, slightly out of frame. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. I don't need the spotlight to feel seen, I don't need the volume to feel heard. I am learning how to be a softer word. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. And the silence lets me in, and the silence lets me in. So I let it, so I let it fade, so I let it fade. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of frame. Just a little softer light, just a little softer name. Slightly out of frame, coffee cup with nothing left to say. The radiator ticking slow and low. A pair of shoes forgotten by the door. A notebook open on a kitchen chair. The street outside deciding not to wake. My hand on yours but lighter than the air. Your shoulder rising, falling like a wave. I learned the way your silence finds a shape. The way your sigh becomes a kind of song. The kettle cooling on the counter now. Your hair still carrying last night's rain. A page of someone else's book still face down. The hum of nothing we don't need to fix. The fridge agreed to let the morning pass. A clock that finally agreed to wait. So if the light decides to come in slow, and if the world forgets to make a sound, I'll keep the place beside you warm and low. A little softer ground, a little softer ground, a little softer ground. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of name. Just a little softer light, just a little softer day. We don't have to hold the moment tight. Let it drift, let it stay. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of flame. Where the window keeps the morning slow and the cup forgets to wait. Slightly out of frame. The hallway took the echo down a notch. A coat that didn't need to be hung yet. Your laughter in the kitchen far away. The neighbor's dog deciding not to bark. A plant we keep forgetting how to name. The floorboards cool beneath our tired feet. The way your door can close without a sound. The way your home can learn to be enough. I'm not asking for a clearer view. Just a grain of it, the blur. Just a part of you I always knew. A little out of focus, insecure. A little out of focus, insecure. A little out of focus, insecure. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of name. Just a little softer light, just a little softer day. We don't have to hold the evening tight. Let it fade, let it stay. Slightly out of frame, slightly out of flame. Where the radiator hums below and the cup forgets to wait. Slightly out of frame. A little softer light, a little softer name. The morning learns to